You read Rolling Stone magazine? Well, God bless you if you do. The magazine pushing a new line for the unemployment rate in America. All of those millennials that are dealing with unemployment, you know, who are living in their parents' basements right now, just refusing to even look for work. Rolling Stone has a plan for how we can combat all of this.
First of all, I don't think young people don't read Rolling Stone. It's,
No.
it's all like left-wing math teachers over 60, I think, who read Rolling Stone, remembering their youth. But anyway, sorry to interrupt.
Well, at least it appears that they're trying to capitalize on it, though.
Not capitalize. They're trying to socialize on it. Get it?
Oh, yeah.
Here's
there
what
you go.
they
That was actually really good.
They want to get
That's
rid of
their
capitalism.
solution.
They want to get rid of capitalism altogether. This is the solution in this piece by Jesse Meyerson of Rolling Stone magazine. He wants to get rid of capitalism and replace it with socialism. He says, number one, it would be guaranteed work for everybody.
But what's the problem is where are you going to get all the money from, right?
Right.
With socialism, I mean, like Margaret Thatcher said, eventually you're going to run out of other people's money to spend.
And Social Security
Jesse
for all?
Meyerson, not a math major, believes that everyone ought to have a guaranteed federal job, Social Security for all, in other words, a guaranteed income for every citizen, and something called Take Back the Land, which would be an end to private property.
That's a good move. I really think just have everyone give up their homes, everyone give up
Nationalize
their farms.
everything. I'm totally for this for Rolling Stone. Jan Wenner, who owns Rolling Stone and Men's Health or Men's Fitness or some other bunch of other magazines, net worth estimated $700 million. Let's nationalize Jan Wenner. You first, Jan Wenner. The second you take all your money and give it to the rest of us, I'm on board.
Well, here's a section from that piece there in Rolling Stone in regard to Take Back the Land. Here's what he says. Ever noticed how much landlords bleep? They don't really do anything to earn their money. They just claim ownership of buildings and charge people who actually work for a living the majority of our incomes for the privilege of staying in boxes that these owners often didn't build and rarely, if ever, improved. What about the risk that these land owners, property owners have taken on in purchasing it and the money that they spend for upkeep for these people to live in it?
Claim ownership of it. I own some rental properties that work very hard to get and upkeep and put into to provide a home for a family and, you know, a reasonable rent, of course. And, I mean, it's absurd to think that I just walked one day up to a random house and just claimed ownership.
Oh, I disagree. I'd like to claim ownership to Jan Wenner's place in the Hamptons. Or his apartment here in New York City. I mean, why not? As long as we're sharing everything, I'd like to move it with Jan Wenner. Again, you first. People who espouse this stuff should have to live by it. Congress passes laws, but make them apply to them.
That's the failure of socialism. The people who put it out there never live by it. That's why it's never worked. There's been no evidence of socialism ever working in the history of the world. He also says make everything owned by everybody.
That seems like a problem, too. What about, like, the sidewalks? That's where people throw down their cigarette butts. Would they do that in their own driveway? Probably not. There's a perfect example of that very thing happening.
And a public bank in every state. Let's have a public bank in every state. So here's some viewer responses this morning from folks. Gene in Illinois writes, I really wish that people weren't happy with this country. They would just leave and go to those countries they aspire this one to be.
And AJ says this in an email. The reason people under 30 believe that socialism might be a better way is because they have been a generation from privilege. Mom and dad has sent them to college. They now have a new car, a new home, are making good money. Life is good.
Well, there is a decadence in that, for sure. We need to show the youth the failures of socialism. Let's socialize grades and see if they still agree. Oh, I agree with that. That's such a good idea.
Yeah.
But first, let's socialize Jan Wenner's house.
Yeah. And, you know, that one person who says we should move to countries where we aspire them to be, there's no evidence of a country existing like what this article purports. Is there? I mean, I don't know that there's a country
because there's always a ruling class. I mean, someone is always... You think income inequality is a problem in this country, and I actually think it is a problem in this country. It's a much worse problem in a socialist country where an even small group of people reap all the benefits.
Exactly.
Right? Just ask North Korea.
Yeah, the money to elite. There you go. Let us know your thoughts. FF Weekend on Facebook. That's our page. You can write in there or on Twitter as well. Coming up here on the show.